There you go. So welcome to Fire Up Connect.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Rob, tell me what's going on with your business.
Okay. I just released the new issue of Shift a couple
Yes.
days ago. It's gotten some very good reviews. The cover looks amazing. And I have just been circling the wagons, looking at everybody I've sent proposals to or kind of in the business process. And I realized there's like 14 names on there. I'm literally sitting on thousands of dollars and I haven't been outbound, like connecting with people to follow up on proposals and all this stuff. And so that's what I focused on today.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, things are good. I'm just trying to find balance with everything. I know we have the event show Saturday, so I got to make
I
sure I don't get
know.
overbooked for that.
Oh,
Excited about it. Got
I
to get a
am
haircut
too.
so I don't look like a wolf. And then yeah, you and I should definitely have a call just Thursday or Friday just to discuss like expectations and
Okay.
scheduling and all that good stuff. But yeah, I need to absolutely, like, you and I need to promote it more. First of all, I don't know anything about ticket sales. I don't know like how it's been on
No,
your end.
everything is taken care of on the registration side. So we have 100 people, exactly 100 people coming. They all paid and everything, so I have nothing to worry about when it comes to registration.
So you got 100 out of 100.
Yes,
Get the
exactly
fuck out. Pardon
100.
my French. Wow.
Yes, I actually was hoping to have 150, but I
Okay.
settled for 100. I'm okay with that. This is my first time here in San Diego,
Yeah.
and I'm good with it. And I have everybody that I wanted to be there. Michelle, how are you? Unmute.
Well, that's great, Marie. Congratulations. I'm really happy
Yeah,
for you.
thank you. Yeah, it's and Michelle is gonna be there,
Oh,
and
nice.
I have not seen Michelle since gosh, who knows? I mean, we just seeing on online. I haven't seen her in person, so it would be great, like a reunion, right, Michelle?
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while.
I know. So anyway, I don't know if you met Dr. Rob, Michelle.
No,
I don't think
No,
so.
okay. So this is
Yeah.
your first time. What about Gavi?
yes.
Okay, so you met Gabby. Okay, yeah, I think in one of our meetings. So Michelle is a loan officer in the city of Temecula, and she is now doing some life coaching. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So I'm here as a life coach, and on when we were at the dinner, it's my life coach ad and my article that I wrote.
wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's do the Q&A. I'm gonna go ahead and ask Gabby this time. Gabby, what is your main focus this week?
So, Mary, this week was getting high net worth clients because the whole of last week and the last few days, I was on, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 calls every day, but they were not the kind of people I would want to work with.
Oh,
And just because they don't have the money to, hire me, and you know how expensive we are, right? We are expensive people, right?
yes.
So, so I'm just, getting the leads and just making sure that we have the right filters in place and that I'm talking to the right people. So that's been my focus since the past 10 days. And I'm kind of, frustrated as well in a way,
Okay.
because
So do you show like a brochure or a PDF file with all your programs?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yes. And it is something that's missing at my end. And so that needs to be taken care of. Other than that, my website redevelopment stuff is going slow. So a lot of snags, and dead ends in many aspects. I started working with a bunch with a company that does designing. They were not able to come up with some good designs, things such as these. So not a great week last week, but
Okay. We go
I'm
through
working
those.
on it. Yeah, I'm working on it, but yeah.
Okay. We go through those days,
Yes.
we just have to, that's why we have to have these meetings, kind of uplift each other and find some ways and, get you energized and things like that. So,
Yeah.
well, okay, that's good. So, Gabby, you're next. Who would you like to ask a question?
Martha, long time no see. What's
Got
up?
a,
What's up? What's up?
she's got a new hairstyle.
Oh
Right?
yeah, I cut my hair, guys. They did my hair because I'm getting ready for the Fire Up Connect.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm not used to doing like my hair and stuff like that. Like this is what I do. I wake up and I just put it up and then I just go. Like that's what I do. I'm very simple. And then we go, just put the earrings so I can look like I did something. Um, yes, I mean, because I'm a mom too. I don't know if any of you know, I have a 5-year-old.
Yes.
And he started kindergarten. And I did not know that the simple fact of like picking your kid up and dropping him off put the whole hindrance on your whole schedule. Like now everything revolves around not forgetting your kid. So what am I up to? I'm up to a lot of things. I had a meeting with the publishers for Business Divas. Dr. Sharon's going to be in that book. So I'm going to
Yeah.
interview her today. I'm excited. So that's a collection of 22 women in different industries, different stages in business all over the US. So that's exciting.
That was
What
just
else? I'm
because we met last night, right?
Yeah, that was from this. That was from Fire Up Connect. And it's so funny, coincidence that one of the girls was having a hard time, one of the 22 authors, and she just told me, Martha, I cannot continue with actually publishing my story because sometimes you're just not at the moment to tell your story. And Dr. Sharon was interested in it and it just aligned. That was beautiful.
Okay.
I'm of course I'm in school and I'm very excited for Saturday. I cannot wait. I
Yeah.
actually have a speaking engagement it's called Brunch with Ella. So it's a bunch of women coming together. There's different panels. I'll be a panelist. And we just share our life experiences and our life as an entrepreneur. So I'm excited. I think they're expecting like 200 people for that event.
Okay, yeah, I saw that in Facebook when you posted it. So anyway, Martha, have you met Michelle yet?
No.
Okay, so
No.
Martha is a expert in business numbers. And so she helps small businesses in terms of looking at their cash flow, their financials, and she comes up with strategies to double and triple their income. So that's what she does. Okay, so Martha, you're next. Who is you have Michelle or Dr. Rob to ask a question.
Dr. Rob, I love the work you do. I'm gonna work with you eventually, so don't worry. You got me. You got me. I want to be in your magazine, so I will. What are some of your challenges you face right now in marketing and getting clients? What do you face as a challenge?
So before you got on the call, I was just telling everybody that I hadn't done a really good inventory of my systems in a while, and today I just cut the bullshit and I made some really good coffee, which is why my eyes are so glassy. And I created one thing that I do called a warm leads list. A warm leads list is every person that's ever reached out to you, shown interest, like always comments on your stuff, or you see on social media a lot. And my warm leads list is this long. You can barely see this, but you can see how many, these are all individual names. And then it's got 3 different sections. It's got call, pitch deck, and follow-up. So did I get on a call with them? Did I send them a pitch deck? And did I do a follow-up if I haven't heard from them in about a week and a half? And so by doing this, I've organized my CRM a lot better because I do this, I'm an old guy, so I do this manually versus electronic. So anyway, biggest challenge is that I've been sitting on all this freaking incoming money and I just haven't been ambitious enough to go after it. Today I did. I contacted everybody, and I know a few people that are just waiting to work with me. I made a sale right before this call, so that's been my challenge, but I fixed it today.
Okay, awesome, Dr. Rob. Okay, now, Dr. Rob, you got Michelle.
All right, so Michelle, you said you're a life coach. That's awesome. Do you have a particular niche for life coaching, like transformational breakthroughs or tragedy, grief, or performance? Tell me about it.
It's more like transformational breakthrough, but it's basically a framework that's just opening the discovery to what is holding you back, what your conditioning, mindset, and really looking at what it is that you feel is your what you're meant to do or what you want your purpose in life to be, and that as that changes over time. So it's a framework for discovery, basically to go through a 12-week process of looking at clarity, which without clarity, I mean, that's where we first start to find out if you are on the path that you want to be on, if there's something that you dream about that you've suppressed, and that we can help you move forward. Energy, physical and mental energy, productivity, helping you to map out big projects and look at dreams and as not just wishes or things that you can't fulfill, but do you really want to fulfill them, or do you just want to do something? And then influence and courage. And we just break it down into these categories in this framework that kind of just opens your mind to thinking of the possibilities of who you actually, the path that you might have been on years ago, but then life gets in the way and you develop a mindset that it's not something that you can do, or it's not meant for you, or whatever that might be. And just kind of break through that to bring a life of more clarity and joy and just fulfillment.
I love it. So you lift limiting beliefs. That's great.
Yep.
Wow, that's a TV show. Right, Dr. Rob? Dr. Rob is going to have his TV show. That would be such a good topic, right? All right,
So,
Michelle.
I have a question for
what's your
Michelle.
question?
Michelle, how do you explain the coaching industry? It is so saturated right now. How do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the coaches out there in your field?
Well, it is a very saturated market, and I think that there's an opportunity for everyone. That would be a mindset of abundance instead of starting out with, oh, it's so saturated, I won't be able to do this. So obviously we look at the reality of the competition. Like, I've been a loan officer for almost 40 years, 39 years next year. And that's a very saturated industry as well. But there's always an opportunity for any individual, really anywhere. We are unique, and there's people who want to work with certain people. And I don't differentiate myself by saying, you don't want this type of coaching or that type of coaching. But what I have experienced through coaching is that some is just some type of accountability and motivation, which doesn't really get you anywhere in my experience. This particular coaching I went through for 2 years, it was so freeing and created so much awareness in my life that I wanted to bring that to other people. So it is being in the right place at the right time and having the people who connect with you that really want and see in you, as their peer, maybe that they connect with you and they think, oh, okay, I'm 58, I'm 60 years old, and I used to do this thing that brought me so much joy, but because life got in the way and I raised a family and I did this and I did that and I've left it behind. And you just can't imagine the joy that when people reconnect with kind of the path that they're meant to be on, and something so important to them that they suppressed in their life. And it's just wonderful. So I have to just think in abundance.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So Michelle, what's your question for me?
Oh,
How do
wow.
you-
Well,
how does Marie come up with so many questions? Question for her is, how does she have so many questions for us?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
each session, the question is new, right? I mean, the way she moderates, That's
Yeah.
my question to you, Marie. How come you have a long list of questions for us each time?
Okay. Well, is that your question, Michelle, though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I couldn't think of anything off the cuff because for the other people, I don't know them, but I kind of know you and I kind of see everything that you're doing all the time, even if I'm not involved in it. So I couldn't think of anything, but that's a good thing. How do you keep this going?
Every time I get to talk to people and then, ideas come out of my mind. Like last night, we were just, it's just me, Martha, and Dr. Sharon. And all of a sudden, there's that spark that I wanted to connect the two and figure out how they can benefit, because I wanted to see, things happen, strategies, ideas, results. Those are the things that's running in my head. And even now, while Dr. Rob was talking, about his process of, with his potential, clients or already clients, and he's still trying to make some business with them. I have some ideas already running in my head, and it makes me feel like, I was made for a purpose. I have some gifts that I need to get it out. And that's why I love, doing this. And I always have good ideas, and I want to make sure that people, gravitate to that, and also helps them come up with ideas, because that's how you become very good at what you do, is, creating more ideas. I mean, sometimes I would call Dr. Rob, and we would have a session, and we just like brainstorm, and he would come up with so many ideas. I mean, he's like also one of those people that just like boom, 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 he's got the ideas there. And I just love that concept of, working with people.
Mhm.
So is that is that good?
Yeah.
All right, even
Well, I
Dr.
think it's what it is you're always in the mindset of being a linchpin and thinking like, oh, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person, and that's what you do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like connecting people. I just see it in my head. I mean, it's just all pictures in my head, and I gotta get it out. So even Dr. Rob even put something here, how to break out in a what is that? Sat
Actually,
market. Okay, Dr. Rob, you want to explain that, what it is?
Yeah, so Michelle hit it on the head. The whole secret, if you're in a saturated market, is not to focus on there's too many people out there, but it's important to remember not everyone is the same level of talent or skill, to be honest. I mean, there's a bajillion podcasts out there, but it wouldn't stop me from like making one if it was my heart's desire. And so we bring our own like enthusiasm and craziness and quirks and fun things to the table, and that's what will attract our crowd to us. So even if you're in a saturated market like finance, real estate, fitness, whatever, it's important to develop your personality. It's important to use really high-end branding so that you stick out, like custom graphics or a fun logo. But I'm telling you guys, branding is the number one thing that's going to carry you through, and it makes people seek you out if you have that confidence in what you do versus somebody that is even like less expensive. And so I cost more than a lot of people, but I'm really flamboyantly visible about the results I get for people. I'm always showing screenshots. I'm always like, okay, oh, hey, this person got on the news, blah, blah, blah. And so I cost more, but it's always worth it because people can see with their own eyes, like the results. And so that's what you have to remember. You have to be really dynamic and unique. And in this game, if you're using social media, you cannot be monotone. You cannot be boring on camera. You cannot use like really like outdated graphics and fonts. Like just go for it and really like try and shine from who you are.
Yeah. And there's
Okay.
so many ways to catch people's eyes, because I'm one of those people that's very visual.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't catch my eyes, I'm so bored already. I'm moving to the next one.
Yeah. Just
This
drink
is
a lot
the way
before
I
you go on
work.
camera.
What's that?
I said just drink a lot before you go on camera.
I don't drink anymore, Dr. Rob. You know that. But if you go visit Dr. Rob, I can tell you his place is a party. He's got this beautiful restaurant right in the middle of his place, and there's a bar, and it's an elegant garden. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's insane. There's a grotto, and right now it's like an Alice in Wonderland theme. There are giant inflatable mushrooms and flowers and flamingos everywhere. It's freaking crazy.
And he's here in downtown San Diego. So if you ever come down, I mean, Martha, you're flying here, right? You gotta spend some time with Dr. Rob. He's so cool to be around, I tell you. Okay, so let's do this. We just finished the Q&A, and we had a little bit great information from Dr. Rob. Any comments about what Dr. Rob said, Gabby?
Yes. So can you differentiate between the blue ocean mindset and the red ocean strategy?
Yeah, so just to take it like to the third grade level, because I didn't understand this for years. Red ocean, it's a shark analogy. And red ocean means that you fear your competitors. There's a lot of blood in the water, there's scant resources. So you imagine a lot of sharks attacking fish. Blue ocean means you are completely alone in this beautiful blue ocean of opportunity and clients and potential. And so you can tell right away. And the number one indicator of red ocean versus blue ocean mindset is, do you promote people in your industry? And that's like a light bulb for a lot of people, because I promote people that do PR. I promote even people that do press releases. They might offer a different service or a different price point, but by doing this, I show people that I have the confidence to not try and hoard my niche or hoard my audience. And if I can create abundance for somebody, maybe I'm not their cup of tea, or they need something that I can't provide, but they can get it from a competitor, I'll send them over and I'll promote them immediately, and everybody wins. So that's red ocean versus blue ocean.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
What about you, Martha? What do you think about what Dr. Rob shared?
I'm definitely a blue ocean. I have something called National Palette Leaders. I'm in many industries, so I'm not just one industry, but my favorite one is my wood palettes. And I have something called National Palette Leaders, and I partner with as many palette companies as possible. If there's business in Michigan and I can't handle it, I give it to someone in Michigan. If it's in New Jersey, then I give it to someone in New Jersey. Like, I'm trying to get Domino's in New Jersey. So I'm going to meet up with this vendor over there and figure out how he can get his feet in such a big company, a Fortune 500 company. So that's exciting. So I like that point of view, and I wish more people had it. And you know why? Because I just found out here in Chicago, towing companies are like so killing each other right now. Like, there's so much revenge. I didn't know this, and I'm renting to a towing company right now. So I'm scared. I'm like, are they going to try to kill this guy and then my property is damaged?
I was a tow truck driver for 3 months. I was in industry when I first moved to San Diego. It was my first job out of the Air Force. It was crazy. Everyone was fresh out of jail.
Oh,
Wow.
Dead serious. Like, that's the only industry they can get in and get a job fresh out of Donovan State Prison.
Oh
so
my.
that's why it's so ugly. In Chicago, I've heard that they're like some hitting each other's trucks to fight for the towing, to tow the car. I did not know it was that bad.
It's pretty wild. Them and the repo guys are really aggressive at times, and it just goes to show the professionalism of the companies. Or
Wow,
lack
that's
of.
crazy. Okay, what about you, Michelle?
Oh, I didn't hear what question.
What's your thought about Dr. Rob's
Oh, the blue ocean, red ocean. Definitely part of why, you know, why the coaching was necessary for me is that I always noticed that it wasn't necessarily red or blue, but I had a mindset of, well, it's not for me. You know, that very limiting mindset that I have what I have. It's what I said in the article that I wrote actually for you is like the conflict between expansion and gratitude. So I would think that wanting more was not being grateful. And also like setting a standard for how I thought something was meant to be, and then justifying why it wasn't the way that I wanted it to. So it basically does push me more into that red ocean type of person.
Mhm.
And you have to really work on that, because it's not really that you wouldn't refer people or don't want the best for other people. It's that you fear that you're not good enough. So there's that happens in the red ocean too. So
The old imposter syndrome.
what's that?
The old imposter syndrome.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, so that's what I think about that. So I mean, the first question of it's a saturated market, like my first response would be like, yeah, why are you even doing this? You know, that's what people would do. They see the pitfalls and they see them before they even start the road, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can't do that. Instead of dreaming about it and then saying, hey, well, I'm not there yet, and I see the pitfalls, but how am I going to be like the person who's already there? And why not?
Mm.
Why not?
Yeah, you have to remember that the bottom 30% are hobbyists in any saturated industry. 30% just don't know what they're doing, and God bless them. They're going to try, but they're not going to put in the hours that you will. They're not going to focus on the brand recognition. They're not going to focus on growth. They're not going to treat it like a real business. And so for
Right.
somebody like anybody in this room that will approach it like a shark and just enter the industry and be terrifyingly effective, you're going to attract the right people.
Yeah. So yeah, so what you've basically said is kind of like there's a purple ocean somewhere, which is the blue and the and the
Love it.
red, because you don't want to be the shark that's eating everybody up, but what you want to be the shark that's going for everything that's possible. So maybe the shark like goes into the purple water or the blue water.
Maybe that's your first
but-
book,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Purple Ocean.
Hey, there you go.
I love purple. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Purple ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take 30 seconds to just put any additional comments from everything that you heard. Put it on chat, and then after that, we're gonna move forward to the business share. Thank you, Dr. Up, for the comment. Gatekeeper. Never really heard somebody called me gatekeeper.
I don't think Martha could look younger.
I'm actually 28, guys, but I look younger than that.
I remember you said, I am a short, I am short, but I am a kid short. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm short, but I'm a tough cookie.
Yes.
I'm in the pallet industry. It's all man. So I'm tough.
28.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and seriously, they're like, Martha is upset at you, and they're like afraid to see me.
I
You
can
cannot
see that.
imagine it, right? But it is a thing.
That is awesome. You see, there's already an idea just by talking here. Now there's already a new book for Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What about
I
you,
don't-
Gabby? Are
My
you
comment's not going. Let me see.
It's because I have a question for everyone, and all of us can actually answer it one by one. So I know imposter syndrome happens to the best of us, and it happens, at certain periods of their life, whatever they're doing, either in their job or their business or whatever they're doing, right? Now, how have you done, or how do you overcome it? How do you manage imposter syndrome? How do you overcome it? How do you get past it, basically, each time? Michelle.
How do I get past it?
Mhm.
Well, for me, first of all, it's the awareness of when I'm in these thoughts. That's the biggest thing about discovery is you can go along your whole life and not really break down the way that you approach things or the way that you feel about things or the way that you've been making decisions in your life. So to first be able to recognize that, like what I had to do, I'll just tell you a quick story. So as an example, Marie might know this, but so I've been a lender for 39 years. So anytime that I would go to a realtor function, the idea to go to a networking group where there's a lot of realtors is to meet more realtors, because realtors are the people who can refer you business. So they're your top referral partner. There's many others, but let's say that's the top referral partner. But every time I would go to an industry function, there's more affiliates than there are realtors. So then what you are in a networking with your competitors and not with the people who you think you could do business with primarily. So if you're standing in a line or you're sitting at a table and you're going to a dinner and you say, are you a real estate agent? It'll be, I'm a lender, I'm a lender, I'm a lender, I'm a lender, I'm a lender. And so what I used to do was justify that it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. And it's silly to go to these things, to these functions, because I'm only going to see other affiliates. Well, I had to reset my mind to be in an accepting, okay, yes, this is what I'm going to see, but instead of in a self-righteous way, that's like, that's not where I should be. It was, okay, decide what it is for what it is and go there with that acceptance of what it is, instead of trying to be self-righteous about the way that it should be. And so when I could go to these functions in an observation and in allowing it to unfold, instead of it being what I wanted it to be, then you are releasing all of those pre-existing thoughts and self-righteous, justification about why this isn't good. So I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but it's basically getting in a mindset of awareness and observation about how you react to what is in front of you, so that you then have that awareness, so that you are able to put it in the right place, that it works for you. That's one example of how what I had to do in all of my years of doing that.
Okay. Well, I guess, so if you have the awareness, I think that's the first step. When you know that you are, in the midst of it, you are probably part of imposter syndrome, or you're hit by it or something like that, right? The question is, how do you get past it? What do you do besides the awareness part of it? Do you take any action steps, or not just you, but just about anybody? And anyone can answer that question. Dr. Rob, Marie, you can do it. Martha?
You want to go for it, Dr. Rob?
Dr. Rob first. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was typing while you were going. It just answering the question about being in capacity, right? And imposter syndrome. So basically, you asked, what do you mean act in capacity? So if you're doing stuff that's related to your industry, it'll completely take you out of any doubt or hesitation. What I was typing is, if I ever feel in doubt of my abilities as a viz guy, I'll send out 15 pitches to TV stations for clients. I'll write articles about visibility. I'll do stuff that a 7-figure PR agency would do. And so it's a great visual if you're ever like having one of these blah days where you're kind of like, I don't really know if I'm good at what I do, or I don't really feel like I'm the right person to be doing this. Take out a piece of paper and write down, if I was making, 7-8 figures in my industry, what kind of activities would I be doing? Who would I be reaching out to? What would I be doing at that level versus what I'm doing now, task-wise, like real specific stuff. So in your case, Gabby, you only want to work with like really high-end people that obviously have wealth and obviously have like need your services. So guess where you're going to find them? You're going to find them on LinkedIn, or you're going to find them on like outbound marketing. That's like really high-level Facebook ads. You're going to find them on like wealth podcasts. So get some interviews, just things like this. But as long as you're doing stuff that have you in a higher, it's like promoting yourself. If you're doing stuff at a very, very high level, then you can't possibly suffer from imposter syndrome, because that's being incapacitated.
Yep.
Well,
Martha?
I think, Martha, you have any comment?
Imposter syndrome. I like looking back at what I've done in the past and remembering. What always gives me confidence? I'm going to tell you this, and I think this is very unique just to me. I have a freaking math degree in applied mathematics. I did high-level theorems. I did 30 pages of theorems and stuff like that. I mean, I think 0.01 of the population can do that. And even if they wanted to, I think some people are just not able to do. So I think about that whenever I feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm like, no, girl. You are a Latina. You were supposed to end up pregnant super young. You're not supposed to go anywhere far in your life. You build a multi-million-dollar company. Plus, you have like this mind that a lot of people don't have. And that's very unique. So I just remind myself. So for me, having a college degree really gave me confidence, because it wasn't something that it was very challenging. I'm not kidding you. I would go to class, and the first month I was like, I do not belong here. I did not, everything went in and out, and I was like, what is going on? But really, what helped me is not that I'm naturally smart, it's a dedication. You ask for help if you need help, and then things just you start to understand them. So I'm not afraid of going in any industry, and if I don't know anything, like now I'm learning about tractors. My dad wants me to learn about tractors because he wants to buy them. So now I know everything. So I'm not afraid of any industry, learning anything new. So I'm capable of doing anything. So that
Wow.
helps me. So I'm not afraid, or I don't feel less when I'm in the room.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
because I did say this before, and I want to say it again. People can take your money, people can take your assets, but what's in your head, there is nobody that can take that away from you. So that is the best wealth that I have given to myself.
awesome. Wow, beautiful. I mean, talk about, a really great meeting today. So my answer to that, Gabby, I agree with everyone, what they said. For me, what works for me is that, I know that I'm not perfect, but I am perfect in God's eyes. So I don't really care what everybody else is saying. That's the way I look at it. So I accept that I have weaknesses, and I think I was made with certain weaknesses and strength, but there's a purpose why you have those weaknesses. There's also a purpose why you have those strengths. And there's nothing wrong about it being, having some weaknesses and strength. And you actually wanted to tell people about that too, so they can work with you well. And it's not about, judging you that because you're weak on this side. It's just accepting the fact that you are good at this and you're not good at that. And people can work with you very well if they understand who you are and how you're made. I've worked with so many people in the corporate world. I've dealt with so many different types of personalities. I went back to school to learn people's personalities also and behavior. And I learned that through communication, different types of personalities have different ways of looking at their response, their weaknesses, and their strengths. So if you understand, I think if you take the time to really understand people in terms of who they are, you'll be able to reach your target client if you understand how they respond. Because sometimes it's not about, I know you're looking for people that are high end, but do you know their personalities? They could be all high end, but they all have different personalities, and you're going to have to figure out how to connect with each one of them. So it is more about the individual connection versus, just targeting them as an overall clientele. So I mean, I know Michelle. I've seen her work, and she has a very dedicated target to where she established a very strong relationship with one of the top producers. And so she doesn't really have to do a lot of, mingling or anything. She really makes sure that she invests on the relationship where she gets a lot from it, right? Am I correct, Michelle?
Right. Well, because of my time in that industry, the 39 years, it's like I've developed really, really deep relationships, plus any relationship that in the service side of it that we've taken care of clients, so many clients over all those years that I just maintain those relationships. And I make sure that I focus on keeping those relationships strong.
They're very small. It's a small group of people that you are connected to, but you get tons of business just through those small group.
Through that small group and through
Yeah.
the relationships that we established in that small
Yeah.
group. So we have a
Yeah.
large database of people that always come to us.
Yeah. So that's one thing that, we can all learn from. But anyway, this is actually awesome. Thank you, everybody, on what you shared. Okay, so we have 15 minutes. Any quick update that you wanted to share to the group? Goals, challenges, or stories? So let's start with Dr. Rob.
The biggest thing was just getting the magazine out. It was a lot of work, and I'm still a little bit behind on the production schedule because I had COVID in July and I had like 2.5 weeks of reserve duty this summer. But we've got very good feedback from it. A lot of people have been reaching out to me like, hey, how do I get in the next issue? Blah, blah, blah. We sold the next cover, and I'm in talks with the cover after that, which is amazing. So we're finally starting to get like a lot more recognition. So that's it. Just I'll drop a link in the chat if you guys want to check out the new issue. It's free to read.
Okay. All right. Gabby.
I just want to say something. So I don't know. I'm still kind of stuck on the whole imposter syndrome thing.
Go for it. Go for it. We have time.
And I just want to say something to initially when I started off on this journey, advising people on their finances and stuff, it's a big thing, right? It's huge. And I had the license and the degrees and so blah blah blah. And I still had this huge thing. I said, would I be able to advise the right way, right? And depending on each individual or business. And I had that imposter syndrome initially. And the only strategy that worked each time was reading and just delivering high results. Basically, keep working on myself, keep reading high quality stuff, books and attending webinars and seminars, and then be able to advise appropriately, based on whatever skills or knowledge that I have updated. That's the way I have kind of gotten past that imposter syndrome. And so that's me. Sorry, the challenges. Well, I think I already mentioned the challenges. So I'm having challenges with my website development. I've not been able to find the right guy. I think I might have found him this morning, but I don't know. So yeah, we have a tax deadline next week, which is October 17th. So I have a few taxes to file. That's a challenge. I have this client. I got this call from Michigan today saying that, hey, I need you to save 40K in taxes. Can you help me do it? So I'm thinking, how can I help that family from Grand Rapids save money in taxes? I think that's going to be a good challenge, something to think about today, tomorrow, day after, and just work on it with them, for them. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Martha.
I'm very excited. I don't know if any of you know, I started a class called The Power of Numbers. This is a 6-week course that I teach to business owners the key business numbers they need to look at to not only keep their business in place, but also start growing and expanding. We found a place for the graduation and we decided on a date. The graduation is going to be November 19th at a very nice place. So we give everyone, it's like the shark. Have you seen the sharks? It's basically it that everyone's going to give their pitches and I'm really going to help them with the finance part of it when they ask them the numbers. And we're going to have investors, bank loan officers, and a few people there just judging these business owners and see if what they got and if these people are willing to invest in their businesses in the spot because they're going to have financials to show.
That's awesome. And we're planning a big event next year for you, right?
Yes, we're going to do a big conference in Chicago and Marie's going to help me with this.
All right. We're all going to help you. Okay, Michelle, your turn.
And this was what challenges this week?
Whatever you want to share, challenges, goals, or any story that you want to share.
Well, you might have noticed that every time I had to go back to my 39-year career to kind of explain something or answer a question, and you introduced me as a lender. So I'm in this transition, but it's a career transition where, of course, I have these relationships and I've helped people for 39 years to buy homes. And I also got, I've been coached for 2 years, and this is how I got into coaching. So I'm in this transition that's so hard because I'm going to these things, identifying as this new person that people have known me for 40 years as this other person. And I haven't left that. And I have a passion for that, but I also have a passion for helping people to really live a life that has so much joy and meaning and get back on track to something that meant so much to them. So, I'm just basically saying that this has been hard. This transition, this identity shift is what I've been working on for now a bit to try to hold on to what I know really well. And I have no imposter syndrome after 40 years of doing loans, but then getting into this other passion of mine to help people to live this better life, and shifting that identity has been interesting. It's been really
Might be a good idea, Michelle, to do like an intro video explaining the transition. And it's a short video that you can have maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And everybody that's looking at your profile will understand that you have this many years of experience as a lender. And then now you're transitioning because of this. So you don't have to keep, letting people know why you're doing the transition, and they understand. I think that would be a good thing, and because of your years of experience. So I think that would be good. Okay. And now let me see. I'm getting ready for the Fire Up Live. I only need the banner to arrive. That's like a 8x16 banner. It's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful banner. And then I have the magazine. It's supposed to be today. Is today the 13th? No.
11th.
11th. So the 13th, I'm picking up the magazine. So that's in 2 days, right? Yeah, I'm picking up the magazine, and we have already the book. So we're ready. Yay. And I'm going to see all of you. And Gabby, we're going to miss you there. But I'm glad. I mean, we'll definitely have some recording, and you'll be able to see some of the footages of what's going on in that event. Okay.
I am so sorry, Marie. I would have loved to see all of you.
I know.
And I just changed cities, right? I just changed states, and it's just been so much. There's so much
Yes.
going on at my end. So, but thank you so much. Maybe next year. So I was talking to
Yes.
Justin, and Justin is like, yeah, he's gonna be there. So he and I were chatting on Sunday, and blah blah blah. We were just just talking.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. But we'll definitely record it and you'll get to see a little bit of it.
Okay.
And we're posting
Okay.
that in the website.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on. Comments. What do you think about the meeting? We have 8 minutes. Any collaboration, any ideas, anything that you can come up with? Let's start with Gabby.
Sorry, the what?
What do you think about our meeting? Any ideas? Whatever you can come up with.
I think it was great. I think this was great. Dr. Rob always steals the show. He manages to steal the show for just nothing, doing nothing. With all his comments, on the side, I'm like, what is he saying now? What is he saying now? And then, I have a hard time keeping pace with his comments, and then someone's talking, and then all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, he said
And,
I hear the same thing from his girlfriend.
Nah.
So obviously, Dr. Rob is someone who is kind of, and what everyone wants to work with, or, everyone should work with, that kind of stuff, if they want to, promote their branding and whatnot. People like us, unfortunately, we just have to, wait for the right catch, the big fish. And we just hope that the big fish, it lands in my plate. I don't know what. But yes, Dr. Rob, congratulations to you. And Gabby, I have to work harder. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Martha.
I love being here. Marie, this is my favorite business group. Am I in any other business group? Yeah, I am, but this is my favorite. This is where we really challenge each other, and I'm learning these other things that you need to operate a business. Like, so interested to hear Dr. Rob saying that, oh, I just had to go into my Facebook or whatever and start doing his list. That's strategy. That is strategy there. And this is a reminder of things that we can do. And a lot of times we're so overwhelmed trying to do our daily tasks, or sometimes even wasting time, even though we don't realize we're wasting time. And we're reminded like, hey, you can do this to get clients and whatever not. So I love this networking group. I hear different opinions, different perspectives all over the US. So I love it. And I really wish I can be in each one.
All right. Michelle.
Well, I came on a little late, and even though I've gotten to witness what Dr. Rob does, I never heard what his business actually is. So if he could just,
You didn't pitch yourself, man.
yeah, no, I mean, because I came on late and they were already talking and we kind of got into it, but I never really got a great introduction of what I see the warrior strategist. So what is that exactly?
Okay, Dr. Rob, your turn.
I'll try and condense this because I am flying on Folgers right now. So basically, the Warrior Strategist is my brand, and it pairs the concepts of planning and execution. It's a military thing. So the warrior is the execution part, the strategy is the planning part. So I take experts, I turn them into highly visible industry leaders. And so this actually does go to the blue ocean, red ocean thing, because there's a bajillion experts out there that are fighting for, a fan base and clientele. But I help them to make dynamic social media. I help them to get on TV. I write business articles about them. I examine their social media to see if they're effective. Like, would I buy from them? I look at their Facebook. I know in 5 seconds, I can look at all your Facebook personal pages and I can tell you right away if I would buy from you or not. And I just help with optimization. And I look at your business models like your audience does. And if I can't figure out what you do in 5 seconds, or if I can't figure out a way to hire you, or strong positioning, strong messaging, neither can your audience. So that's pretty much what I do, is visibility.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's got a really nice magazine called Shift. And he has some
Shift?
Shift magazine. Okay. And he has business networking with a lot of veterans and business owners. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be connected to Dr. Rob. All right. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Gabby
so-
really enjoys this. I'm telling you, this is Gabby's new thing.
Got it.
He's
So-
very comfortable. I remember when you first came, and now it's like, I love seeing that. You actually start seeing people's personalities in these groups, and you love it because you see the entrepreneur side, but also the personal side. And that's what
Yes.
you don't really see in business.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. So, okay, so we have this huge, issue with time management. Okay, and we end up squandering time every day. Now, how does everyone, go about? I know it's a very cliche question. Okay, you get it all the time. Time management question. How do you go about managing your day, your schedule? Is there an awareness that you have within yourself when you realize that you are wasting time or not doing anything productive or doing something that you should be doing for your business, for self-development, or talking to so and so person, so all those kind of things? How do you go about rectifying, if at all you do go about managing, rectifying your daily, weekly schedule? Martha, you go first.
Oh Lord, I have a lot of projects that I do. So what I'm starting to do is I have a calendar I start working backwards. So I get the calendar and I say, okay, so Business Divas launches on December 13th. I have this thesis that I have to submit. So I just work backwards now. I do a little bit of everything every day because I realize that when I work on one, I start getting anxiety, like, oh my God, I'm just spending one whole day on this. So I put my agenda, if I have all these projects, like 1 hour, 2 hours, and I just divide it throughout the week. And I actually have little squares of how I'm dividing my time.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Marie, what about you?
I actually work on a project. So I have a list of what I want to accomplish for that time frame. And for me is making sure that whatever I want out of that, I want that project completed, then I go back. What are the things that I need to do? And then I make sure that I have a timeline for each of those tasks. So you gotta, you have to figure out what you love to do and what you really want, and you have to have a goal. I mean, for me, it's more task oriented. It's project. It's a project based for me. So if I have for the year, these are the projects that I want to complete within the year. And there's no backing out. Once I made that commitment that that project is going to be done, I'm going to go after it over and over and over again. If I don't get it done, I'm going to get it done somehow, some way. That's just the way I work. Okay,
Okay.
so who else?
Perfect.
Dr. Rob is putting a lot of information.
He's not talking, but he's typing. Okay, which is
Yeah.
good.
And then Michelle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm challenged with this all the time, and I think there's many different ways. You just have to find what works for you. So I like a task list that Rob mentioned. That seems to work for me versus time blocking, is to have a task list and prioritize them, like he's mentioning, or look at the Covey quadrants, do what's important and not as urgent, and try to focus on that, because generally we're always on a reactive basis. So I try to not be in reaction and actually set intention, which is then goes to the thing that I have seen that's works the best for me, is to set an intention for like each hour and a half of what I want to accomplish. And then I go away and I take a walk and I separate myself from that. And then I come back to my desk and I set the intention for the next short period. That seems to work really well, but then I always kind of have a backup of a task list or what I want to get done for the day. And so that I can reorganize that every time I set an intention. So because I used to just plan my whole day and I could keep it all in my head. And then as I got older, I would forget everything, or I would get lost in certain tasks. So I found that the chunks of time that I set the intention for the next 2 or 3 things, or the one thing that I'm going to focus on in that next block of time, seems to work really well.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys use Excel?
Yeah.
I don't.
No, not for this purpose, not for scheduling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Notepads and
Excel.
graph paper.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Rob.
I use Google Calendar.
I just use a book. So
Gabby, yeah, love it.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah, everybody's different. And again, you know, if you see that you feel satisfied with the result of how you're doing it, I guess it works, right? If it doesn't work, then change it and find another solution. There's always a plan B, C, and D. I mean, how many letters do we have? There's so many. All right.
There's 26 letters,
Yeah.
but there's an infinite number of numbers. So I will go with the numbers.
Yeah, there you go.
How about there's 26 letters and 52 weeks? So if you focus on certain letters through the year, you can do 2 each. And like if you're looking at a contact base, you can do your alphabet by your borrower's first name or by your borrower's last name. And if you schedule them for the week that you're going to talk to all A's and B's, all C's and D's, all D, F and G or whatever, and then you'll talk to your whole database in a year twice.
It'd be nice to have you guys on a TV show, all of you.
Yeah, put us on a TV, man. I will
mean,
make
I'm
sure
gonna
that I
have to
come in
figure
again.
this out. I mean, Dr. Rob and I have already a plan for next year for his TV show, but you know, to kind of combine all of you too, that would be awesome.
Don't forget about us when you're famous, okay?
He's already famous. You have no idea.
A little.
Right? There's a lot of people going after Dr. Rob.
I had 3 requests to start TV shows, and I picked Marie.
Okay.
Oh, that is so nice.
Awesome. Okay. Well, have an amazing evening. I'm actually heading to another event and mingling, in-person meeting, lots of people to talk to. And I will see you all, I mean, you know, except for Gabby, on Saturday. Okay. Let me know. We still have a meeting Thursday morning with Brian. Are you guys having any meeting at all, Martha, on that Thursday morning?
I'll talk to Brian and I'll let you know.
Okay,
Let's see
and
what
then
he says.
Friday. So if we have 5 people RSVP, we will have a meeting. If not, it's okay. We just move on. And this time it worked out for us. I think it was a wonderful meeting. And thank you so much for everything. And lots of great nuggets here. And this is recorded. And I'm hoping that the members will be able to listen to whatever you guys have said. And they will also want to connect with you. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Great to see you guys. Have a great day.
Likewise.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.